Happy September, everyone. Can you believe we're already at September? This time of year is a time when I start kind of really processing what I've been through over the last few months, which has been an incredible experience for me. I've been in and out of my local community, back home caregiving for my mom. Just a wild ride of emotions, of different things going on, and just really trying to get back into my home life and what that's going to look like as we move from summer into fall. My garden is just producing like crazy. It is just absolutely amazing. Every single weekday we go over there, we're pulling new squash and new kale. Obviously, tomatoes are just in abundance right now. And broccoli, love the broccoli. It is just so wonderful when you pick it out of your own garden, bring it home and taste it, and it's just the freshness that you never get by buying anything at a store. And so for me, what I'm really attempting to do right now is, again, just kind of slow down as the seasons are changing, as we're moving into a colder period, and obviously the nights are growing longer once again. I always have mixed emotions about that this time of year, because I love spending so much time outside. But the good news is obviously it's still only September, which means, I can still be out till 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night, playing in my garden, going for walks by the river, all the fun things that I absolutely love in the summertime. And one of the things that I love doing with the things that I'm picking up right now in my garden and at the farmer's market is cooking. Obviously, I cannot get enough of it. Even when I'm traveling, even when I'm doing some caregiving for my mom, when I'm out in different resources doing different things, cooking is always a highlight of my day. It's something that I thoroughly enjoy doing. I think that's why I started the Cookbook Club a couple of years ago, because it means so much to me to be able to find recipes that I can use both in my home and as I travel and in different locations. And obviously that looks different at different times of the year and depending where I am, because cookbooks are all about utilizing what foods are available, what plant-based foods are available right now, what you're finding in the farmers markets, what you're finding in your local market. I do try and stick to local as much as I possibly can. Obviously, that gets a little more difficult in the winter, but some of the things that I'm trying this year are freezing things like the broccoli that's coming out of my garden, the kale. Even the tomatoes, we're playing around with actually freezing tomatoes this year, and so that we can make sauces and things like that throughout the year. So again, it's just something that you play with on a regular basis. You're just always learning about, how to make the most nutritious meals possible with the ingredients that are available to you. And when you can stretch that out, when you can use more ingredients from your own garden, from things that you're picking up, whether it be at the farmer's market or even just at your local store, how can you utilize those in the best way possible? And so a couple of years ago, I found a cookbook author and just plant-based advocate that I kind of enjoyed watching him, just enjoyed his approach to plant-based living, enjoyed the way he, communicates the things that he shares, all that stuff. And it was kind of funny because it's one of those things that you go through an ebb and flow as you come across blogs or cookbooks that you like and that you use. Sometimes you use them like all the time, it's like you just are using it almost obsessively, maybe for several weeks or even several months. And then you kind of shelve it and you put it aside and you pick up something else. And this case, the cookbook that I have selected for this month is one of those cases. I had not actually followed him for quite some time, and I found him over the summer because his YouTube channel is absolutely incredible. And he, through COVID, through the pandemic and everything, he had invested in a homestead to where he is now growing a lot of his own food. And just watching him, I'll post one here for you to watch because they just touch my heart. They speak to me because a lot of what he does is stuff that I'm going through too. Of, how do you grow food? How do you grow food that you'll have enough throughout the winter months? How do you use it so that you don't have to go to the markets and the stores and stuff like that? Just really love his YouTube channel. So again, what I did is I went back and picked up in this case, this is his third cookbook. and it's by Gas Oakley. It's called Plants Only Kitchen. So we're going to be working with this one this month. I'm already excited. I've already picked out a couple recipes that I'll be trying. And really looking forward to, because a lot of what he has, you'll recognize a lot of this food. It's not things that, are way outside of your comfort zone. It's things that you'll recognize, which in a lot of cases I find when I recognize things, I'm more likely to pick them up and, just kind of incorporate some of my own thoughts, my own ideas into it. And I tend to use it a little bit more. And that's what I love about this book here. So like for instance, he has a charred broccoli, edamame, and quinoa salad. Look at those pictures. They're absolutely gorgeous. But I have broccoli all over my counter at the moment. Broccoli and tomatoes just seem to be like, multiplying in my garden at the moment. So when I picked up this particular cookbook and found that, it was like, yes, I can use ingredients that I already have in my freezer, in my pantry, definitely on my counter from my garden. So this is something that my first recipe that I tried when I picked up this book, because again, it's ingredients that I have on hand. It's common ingredients. It's nothing, outside of the norm that I don't have or have to go on the hunt for. And yet it's just good food. And that ultimately is what it's all about, right? Is putting together different food combinations that actually taste good, that leave you wanting more, that allow you to create something for leftovers that you can have the next day for lunch. Just things that you enjoy putting together, that don't take several hours to put together. They come together quickly. And again, it's nothing that really stretches you and makes you think about food, from a different angle than what you ever have, which I think is important, especially as we move into the fall. Maybe you have more time to spend at home. Maybe you have more time to spend in the kitchen. So sometimes familiarity is the perfect recipe for those moments when you do want to get back in the kitchen and you do want to utilize the foods that you have readily at hand. I know that's what's motivating me right now. And one of the reasons that, again, I'm really enjoying this particular cookbook at the moment. I'm excited to include this cookbook in my 2024 roster of cookbooks. If you haven't heard of Gas Oakley yet, like I said, I will include a YouTube video here too, because just watching him out in his fields and gathering his own vegetables and putting things together in his kitchen, highly motivating for me to keep me cooking, especially on the days that maybe that's not something, that excites you. You'd rather curl up with a good book and watch a good movie or something like that. This book will motivate you to get back in the kitchen and to cook things that just taste good. And ultimately, that's what it's all about. So as the days grow shorter, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere like me, or as you're ready to move into this new season and really use the produce that's available to you and get back to good, clean eating, good, clean living, and having fun with your cooking, enjoy September's pick, the Plants Only Kitchen.